Hey gang, by request we're going to do Work to Do by the Isley Brothers originally, but covered by the Average White Band, Fattburger, and many others. Here we go. All right. Well, that tempo was more Average White Band than Isley's. Both are cool, but anyway, we'll cover it note for note. Now, what I just did was kind of a thicker version, more appropriate if you're playing with a small ensemble. And I'm going to show you how to play that, but I'll also show you how to thin it up so you won't step on the keyboardist or bassist or horn players if you do have a thicker ensemble. All right, here we come in just a couple seconds. All right, gang, you can download the chord diagrams below. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start out first with the version I played, and then I want to show you how to thin it out if you're playing with a larger group so you don't step on the keyboardist or bassist or horns. Okay, first things first, we're going to get that engine. The engine is the right hand, and so you just want to have that constant engine. It's going to sound somewhat like this. All right, so when you put in the chords, it'll sound more like this. It goes through all of those sections. Okay, let's start out with the start. Now, it starts out with a suspended vamp. Now, there's lots of different ways to play this. The way that I chose to play it was a very 70s R&B type of sound, which is to take an A chord and to put a suspended sound on it by placing an A, I'm sorry, a B in the bass. So basically, this is, I start out with a A, it's a slash chord, A with a B in the bass. And sometimes I'll even walk up to play this 3 frets down and then walk up. Obviously, if you have a bassist, you wouldn't want to do that. Okay, now let's go over the main riff in the song. Kind of goes like this. Okay, so what that is it's going from a C sharp suspended 7th. Let's just talk about what the chords are. Basically, it's going from a C sharp 7th to a B 7th, okay? And I'm just using this form, sort of the A shape of that 7th, okay? So, and my root is on the 5th string. So all I'm doing is I take the 3rd of that chord and I'm suspending it, and that's kind of the riff as you're going from suspended to non-suspended on the 2nd string. So the suspended would, for example, on this one go from the 7th back to the 6th and then back and forth. Oops. And then you repeat it 2 frets down. And now 2 frets down. Now what I'm doing in my version is I'm hitting 2 of the bass notes first. Obviously, again, if you have a bassist, you probably don't want to be doing that. All right, now here is the transition part to the chorus, and it sounds kind of like this. Okay, so what is that that I just did? Well, I went from an A6 G sharp minor 7th, F sharp minor 7th, B, or in this case a B 6th. You can play a B 7th there, sounds good too. C sharp minor 7th. And then back to our vamp. Okay, so again, this is, and those are all chords that are diatonic to the key of E, so it's a shift to the key of E there for a second. Sounds really good. All right, so anyway, you're going from an A, or an A major-y type chord, walking down to the F sharp minor 7th, then a B, you can play a B 7th if you want, or a B 6th, either one's fine, and then a C sharp minor 7th, back to the vamp. And that's it, folks. Now, how do you play this if you want to thin it out for a group? Well, a couple different ways. You can just, for one, you can just take out those bass notes. Okay, so instead of playing this with the B on the bass, just take out the B on the bass and just play the 2, 3, and 4 strings. And that sounds good. Now you'll notice that if you look in some books, they'll also just give you this, which is a C sharp, or this is our B, our B with a suspended 4th, a B 7th with a suspended 4th. Sounds a lot like this, doesn't it? Thing is, if you've got a bassist hitting that B bass note or some of those others, it's going to make it sound good. So this is a really simple way to do it. Okay, I already showed you the those. Again, one of the easiest ways to do it is to simply play the 2, 3, and 4 strings on those suspensions. So instead of playing this, just play the 4, 3, and 2 strings. If you want to, you can even play the sort of, this will sound kind of Stones-ish with Gimme Shelter, but you can just bar that C sharp on the 4, 3, and 2, and then play the 7th on the 2nd string and the 8th on the 3rd string, and it's going to kind of sound a little Gimme Shelter-ish. Sounds kind of cool, and that's about it. The other thing is with the transition, that's going to sound good again, just if you play those. If you just play the 4, 3, and 2 strings. So how do you do that? Well, with the A6th, what we can do is just play these notes right here on the 4th string. We're going to play the 7th, 3rd string 6th, 2nd string 7th. Okay, and then we'll play our F sharp minor 7th like this. Okay, and that is 4th string 4th, 3rd string 6th, 2nd string 5th, and 1st string 5th. And then shift up to play that right there, which is just our G sharp minor 7th. By playing the F sharp minor 7th, just move the whole thing up 2 frets, and then play our C sharp minor 7th this time, just focusing on the top 4 strings, which is all 9, 9, 9, 9. Okay? And of course. So there you go. I mean, if you want to not step on, folks, don't play the top strings, and don't play the, and definitely don't play the bottom strings. You'll step on the basses. But if you want to avoid the keyboard player too, just keep to those 2, 3, and 4 strings, and you'll be in good shape. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you on down the road.